If you're a PlayStation fan, you're probably wondering where the PlayStation VR 2 release date is, and I'm right there with you guys. Today, we're going to talk about 5 games that really need an upgrade for the PSVR 2 when it comes out next year. Now, these games are going to be literally from third-person games to first-person games, and I'm going to talk about why I think these games should be in VR. Let's talk about it. What is going on, guys? Jim here with a video today. In today's video, we're going to talk about the PSVR 2. It is literally one of the most anticipated things for the PlayStation in quite some time. This is big. The PSVR 1 didn't really get a good rep because it was something new. This one, however, is so anticipated. Like, everybody wants this. This is going to be so hard to get once it's pre-orderable. Today we're going to talk about 5 games that I really think could really come to life in the PSVR 2 headset and really push these games even further than they were once before. Starting the list off at number 5, we have SpiderMan and SpiderMan Miles Morales. Now, you're pretty much wondering why these games will get VR if they're third-person games. And I'm not talking like Moss VR, and I'm not talking like Astrobot. They are in third person, they work, if that makes sense, but Spider-Man would not make any sense in third person VR. But that's where the first person mode comes into play. Imagine a first person mode in PSVR 2 where you're swinging through New York City, where you're fighting bad guys or doing all types of missions. Remember those like demos that were like the Spider-Man movies that were in VR on the PSVR 1? Imagine like a real add-on to Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Just imagine the VR goggles, imagine how immersive that would be in 4K HDR and 120 Hz. Imagine all that in a headset. An already great game of Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales could really come to life, and you could really feel like you're in that Universal Studios ride. The Spider-Man ride was really one of the best rides I've ever been on back in the day. You're probably wondering how this would work. Rise of the Tomb Raider had the same thing going for it. Rise of the Tomb Raider had a third-person story mode, and then they had a VR mode in Lara Croft's mansion, which really was cool. It was a really good idea. So this could really take some ideas from Tomb Raider and put it in Spider-Man. Alright guys, number 4, we have a really unusual one that I haven't seen even listed for VR yet, and that is Tiny Tina's Wonderland. The reason why I'm saying this one is a couple reasons. One, it's a first-person shooter. It could really use the aim controller if that's compatible. I'm sure there's going to be a PSVR 2 aim controller, so that would really be cool. But Borderlands 2 had VR, and it was really immersive, so I think if Borderlands can get this in VR, Tiny Tina could really use it as well. And Tiny Tina is a really good game to some. Some might think it's just another Borderlands clone and it can get boring. So if you think it's boring, maybe that PSVR 2 update could be the life that Tiny Tina's Wonderland really needs. Because I can see some really cool scenarios with the dragons and all types of magic stuff and all that VR stuff. Could really feel like Harry Potter or something like with the magic, right? Speaking of Harry Potter, number 3, we have Hogwarts Legacy. This is one of the most anticipated games of 2023. Yes, it got pushed into 2023, which is really upsetting, but it needs its time to get done right because we don't want this game coming out like a mess like Saints Row. We don't want any of that. So Hogwarts Legacy comes out in February, which is not too far away, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this already. They already confirmed that Quidditch will not be in the main story or in the game itself. Can you imagine if they surprise us in early January or right before the game comes out or whenever the VR comes out and says Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy gets a free add-on of Quidditch? Imagine Quidditch in PSVR 2. That's made for that. Maybe that's why they're leaving it out of the main game, because it would not look as breathtaking as it would in PSVR 2. Now, the other thing I would put in VR 2 with this game as well is maybe some of the magic classes and some sort of boss fights and stuff like that. But this game is third person in mind, so I think the Quidditch will be the most. PSVR 2 needs to add VR to Hogwarts Legacy. It's a must. I mean, like, I don't know how to say it enough. It needs to happen. Alright guys, coming number 2, we have Grand Theft Auto 5. Yes, this game has been around since, what, a decade ago? It's literally one of the most popular games of all time. Yes, it's not the best Grand Theft Auto in my opinion. I always say this. And I definitely do think it needs more than just online stuff. So, and since they're not going to add a story, since they're working on GTA 6, and since the game's mainly focused online, maybe it's time to use that first-person mode to good use. Maybe add VR to it. PSVR 2 in Grand Theft Auto 5, online or in the story, would be insane and bring this game to life while we wait for GTA 6 to come out sometime in, what, 3 years, 10 years, whatever, 25 years from now, whoever knows when the game's going to come out. But I'm just joking, probably a few years. But imagine just the scenarios in a plane, in a car, and all kinds of other stuff you can do in VR. Because they added first person, and everybody went crazy when that was added to GTA 5. I have yet to really play GTA 5's first person mode because I'm waiting for something like this. PSVR 2 needs to add this update because this game will go from just a game that really focuses online to a game that really opens its mind, like with VR in mind. It needs it. Alright guys, and number one, the game that's coming out in October, the game I talk about most on this channel. Now keep in mind, this is another one of those Harry Potter and Spider-Man things where they're going to hopefully add this as a first-person add-on, and that is Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights is really looking to be a strong game. It has so many villains and so many other things. I'll be talking about that tomorrow, about some of the villains I think should be in the game. Stay tuned to that. Arkham VR was a very, very, very immersive game, a very short game. Gotham Knights is coming out in October. What if, like, by next year, Gotham Knights wants to add on an add-on similar to SpiderMan, similar to the Harry Potter one we were just talking about, which is literally the Tomb Raider thing we talked about before, which is the third-person game with a first-person add-on. Imagine getting a Gotham Knights VR add-on. First-person going through Gotham City, maybe even Batman, even though he's dead. We all know he's dead in the game. I mean, everybody knows this guy's dead. Like, even he knows he's dead, probably. Everybody who's waiting for this game knows that Bruce Wayne is dead and he's not in the game. What if there's an add-on? It's just in the mind of like Bruce Wayne or something, and in the mind of Batman, and you're doing VR activities like AR challenges, soaring through Gotham City, or maybe it's just the whole game one day might be playable in VR, just like maybe Resident Evil 7 was. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I gave you guys 5 games I think that need the PSVR2 upgrade. Let me know in the comment section below which game you would add PSVR2 to. Let me know in the comment section below which game you would pick if you wanted to add PSVR2 add-on to it, because there's so many other games I can think of. It's just, there's just so many to the name, and so many games could go from being boring and bland to really, really fun with the PSVR upgrade. I'm not a big fan of Tiny Tina's Wonderland, but the VR update on that game could really make me want to play that more. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Stay positive, most of all stay safe, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Peace out guys.